Yo, what up guys, OPTCG Daniel here, back at it again with a deck profile video. So today we're gonna do none other than Enel. Enel is our new yellow mono leader, really cool effect. Yeah, it's a 5k leader, 4 health life. He has 4 health, but basically you have 5, because its effect is opponent's turn, once per turn, when your number of life cards becomes 0, add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life, then trash 1 card from your hand. So it is just a looping deck, so you want to loop your last life. There are a lot of annoying rulings with this leader, so I will probably make a video on rulings for NL, so don't worry about it. But yeah, if you have no card in hand, you can still gain a life, because the trashing comes after, so if you know that, and if I say it wrong, you just let me know. But yeah, that should be the ruling about it, and some other rulings. Its effect always goes off, so if you trigger a Sanji in last life, the Sanji will trigger and then you will gain a life, etc, etc. But yeah, enough about that. I will make a video about it later, so don't worry. But for our 2 costs, we play, of course, the Shura. So we are playing the Sky Island engine in this deck. It's more searchable, more consistent, so why not? But yeah, on play, look at the 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Sky Island type card other than Shura, add it to your hand, place remaining at the bottom in the deck in any order. And it's also a trigger. Trigger is play this card, so not really a downside of the card. Good card. Now we go into our 3 costs. We of course play 4 times Capone Gang badge. This card is not searchable in our deck, but still, if you get it from life, it's perfect, because you will loop your last life, so you will every time gain a new life, so it can be this or one of the other cards. So that's why we play 4 of them. And if all hope is lost, you can play this next turn, do Katakuri, shove it back into life, but yeah, no one will ever let that be. And if not, just sure to get counter. Then for our last 3 cost cards, we play of course 4 times Holly, Togy. Yeah, this is just your 5k beater. You play it for free with the card I'm gonna show next. We play 4 times Om. So Om is a really good card for 2 reasons. It's a 4 cost 5k 1000 counter, but its first reading says, or text, if you have 2 or less life, this character gains 1000 power. So what I find to be the most broken cards in the game is printed stats who gain a boost. So your opponent will still think, oh, it's a 5k, but if they swing onto it with 5k, it's a 6k, so their effect, or their damage is nullified then. But I really think that that is really good, because a lot of people will be confused about what stack power is, so always ask. But yeah, on play, look at top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Holly, so the dog, add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in the order, and play up to 1 Holly from your hand. So when you, if you have a Holly in hand, you play this, you don't see a Holly, you can still play the Holly that's really in your hand. So even if you whiff and you have the Holly in hand, you can play it, or if you add the Holly, you can also play it directly. But yeah, really good card. Definitely want to drop it when you're going second on your 4 dawn turn, and hopefully you have the dog to combo off. Then for our other 4 costs, we play, of course, 4 times Sanji. Sanji is just here, so you can shove it back to life with Katakuri if you play it, or just hard play it and then Katakuri it to life, or attack and then Katakuri it to life. So you can do a lot with Sanji. It's really good if you also loop this card into your last life, so they have 1 attack less. Unless it's a Rush Luffy, of course. But yeah, good card. Trigger is you discard 1 card, play it. Then we go into our last 4 costs. We only play 2 times Cracker. So with your leader, you want to be at 1 life or 2 lives, or at least as low as possible, to make your leader effect active, and also other cards, because you do play a requirement for some other cards to become viable in the game. So if you can hit this from your lives early game, just attach a Dawn, it gains power against double attack, so a really good card. But also, when you're looping at your 1 life, you can just top deck it maybe from your top deck to the life, and then you can just play it, so you can put a lot of pressure on the field. And the trigger is you may trash 1 card, play this card. And if not, it's just a 1k counter. Then for our 5 costs, we play 4 times Satori. So Satori is our new trigger instead of Sparrow. Yeah, not really a lot to talk about. It's also a 2k counter, so if you have it in hand, use it for 2k counter, but if you trigger it from life, trigger it, because the trigger is you may trash 1 card, play this card, so you have a 5k button on the field. So free estate, or however that meme goes. I'm way too old. Then for our other 5 cost cards, we play 4 times Gedatsu. So Gedatsu is really good, especially against Akainu, Sakazuki. Sorry, for some reason I called Akainu. But yeah, don't attack them unless they play a 4 cost, and then you can play this on your 5 or 6 Dawn turn, so you can instantly KO their target. Because it says on play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less than the opponent number life cards. So if you keep them at 4 lives, they play a 4 cost Kuzan, you just play this, pop their 4 cost Kuzan, or some other cards. You usually don't want to hit with your leader early game, so that card is live. Then we go from 5 to 7 costs, we play 3 times the Sharded Linlin. Really good card, because your opponent has to choose, they trash a life or you gain a life. So your opponent chooses, be mindful, if they are at 0 lives, they can still choose to trash their life. So basically the card is dead when someone is at 0 lives already. But mostly they will gain you the life. Then for our last 7 cost card, we only play 1 Enel. This art is really so nice. The camera can do it justice. I thought these cards were ugly when they were first revealed. But yeah, this is our rusher of the deck. Really cool card, because it is a rush and then once per turn. If this character would leave the field, you may trash 1 life from the top of your card instead. So whenever it leaves the field. So really good. I am not sure if it protects from Red Rock. I think it does, because it bottom decks it, so it will leave from the field. But don't quote me on that, but still, KOing it will definitely just be protective. So if your opponent doesn't let you go to 2 or less lives, then you can just play this. They have to get rid of this, if else it's just a 7k swing on the field. Then your opponent can focus attack on this, and you can bring it back, and then you go to 1 life. But yeah, really cool card, really nice art. I play only 1, because we do actually play a big loop package. We play 4 times the Katakuri 8 cost. Yeah, this is your end game of the deck. On play, add up to 1 character with a cost of 8 or less to the opponent's or your own life. Face up. Be mindful. Katakuri can Katakuri itself to life. So if you don't have anything you can put to life to reach the 1 life, you can just play it and then put it to your own life. So it's really cool. So yeah, just know that so you can make your leader effect active. Then for our 9 costs, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. We play 4 times Yamato. I'm a really big Yamato fan, or enjoyer, or however you want to call it. So I'm really surprised that I don't own 4 times the alt art. I don't even own 1, so I'm sadly just playing this one. Oh well, it will come soon enough. But yeah, it's a 9 cost, 9k, really high stats. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less to the total life of you and your opponent's life cards. Then if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 cards from the top of your deck to the top of your life card, or your life cards. So basically, this will put you to 1 or 2 lives, depending on how you are in the game already. If you play Katakuri, you go to 1 life, or your leader effect, you go to 1 life. You can play this, you go to 2 life, and then you gain a life. So really good. And the effect might come up. I don't know if you guys saw it, but in the online regional core, a queen was playing against Enel or Katakuri or something, and the Enel had, or the Katakuri had 6 lives, and the queen had like 3. So someone played an Yamato to KO their opponent's Yamato, or at least a high cost. It was really funny to see. Now we go into the events. We only play 2 times Altor. Altor is just here to be more defensive. They will definitely go very aggressive when you're at 1 or less lives to go for game, so this will kinda help it. Counter, up to one of your leader or character gains 2,000 power. Then if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, be mindful, your opponent needs to have 2 or less, not you, but your opponent. A lot of people made space about it. Then gain an additional 2k power. So basically it's a radical beam, but you have to be careful of your opponent's life. And the trigger is KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal or less than the number of your opponent's life cards. So if you can trigger it, you can trigger it. Oops, sorry, I slapped the camera. And then we also play 3 times Thunderbolt. This is just a heavy removal. Main, you may trash the top card of your life, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. And trigger is the same, but you don't have to trash your life. A lot of people won't get you to 2 lives or let you go to 2 lives because another card will be active. So if they hijack you at 2 lives, then you can just use this. And then, of course, you can play this card. Because a lot of people will play around this card because it's so good. It's a 2 cost. Main, up to one of your leader or characters gains 3000 power during this turn. Be mindful, you have to declare attacking the plus gain power or you will lose it. Then, if you have 1 or less life cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So yeah, this is just going for game. If they have a blocker, you can boost your leader up to 8k, rest the blocker, and then just go for game or attach all dons. But be mindful, it only is active when you're at 1 life or less. So if people hijack you at 2 lives, just play the Thunderbolt to go to less life. And yeah, trigger is really good. You may trash 2 cards from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So if you have a lot of 8 cost, 9 cost, a lot of non-counters, just trash them, gain a life, and stay alive for a long while. But yeah, that's the deck profile for Enel. Enel is definitely one of the more annoying leaders in this format because they can loop their last life and the games will go definitely to overtime. So how to beat this deck is you don't want to swing early game and just go ham at 7 dons. So at 7 dons you want to start attacking Enel because then you have a lot of bodies on the field. And that's it. Yeah, if you guys enjoy... talking is hard. If you guys enjoy the profile, give it a like. If you dislike it. If you want to see more content, subscribe. And of course, Happy Christmas, or whatever you are celebrating. I don't know when I'm uploading this, maybe on Christmas Day or earlier or later. But yeah, that's it for me. See you guys later. Peace.